your nectar-like words relieve the burning misery of afflicted souls. Your words, which poets have sung in verses, destroy the sins of worldly people forever. Blessed are those who hear of your vast glory. Blessed indeed are those who speak of you. How unparalleled is the bounty.
You see, we have many kind of conversation, but it is said that like our aide was telling, many may have knowledge, but wisdom is lacking. Having knowledge or information is not enough. Wisdom is necessary, and that is why we should get wisdom from whom? Man of realization. We should read the book which is coming from realization. Anything which originates from not from mere theoretical knowledge, but from real realization. So here he says that hearing your words, because it comes from realization, all our misery. You know, this modern day, it is all about detoxify your body from negativity and cleanse your body. All this will happen if you hear how to do that, by putting positive thought in our mind. Yoga will make us physically strong, better equipped, and hearing positive thought will make us mentally strong. How? You see, our mind is always working. It is a continuous machine. It cannot stop. Then that is why they say empty mind is a devil's workshop. Have you heard of the term? Empty mind is a devil's workshop, because when mind is empty, it will manipulate, do something silly. So we have to fill it with positive thoughts. How to do? Hearing and reading something which is holy, whether it is Bible, whether it is from Buddha, whether it is Quran or any religious text or anything which is positive, which will replace the negativity inside you, detoxify the mind and make it more healthy. Healthy mind will lead to healthy body will lead to healthy mind. Both are related. And now we will read from the Gospel, which is the word of wisdom directly narrated by Sri Ramakrishna from his wisdom, and it is scripted and written by us almost like a stenographer. That term is known in Philippines. Stenographer is writing down as it is, verbatim, writing down what is coming down from the lips of Sri Ramakrishna, and that is how we have got the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna.
Maharaj explained who is the author of this book. It is Thakur's words, but written by a teacher, Mahendranath, Mr. N here. It was on a Sunday in spring, a few days after Sri Ramakrishna's birthday, that M, the author, M met him the first time. Sri Ramakrishna lived in Kalibadi, a temple of Kali, the temple garden of Mother Kali, on the bank of the Ganges at the Minister. M, being at leisure on Sundays, had gone with his friend Sidhu to visit several gardens at Baranagar. Baranagar is the place. Actually, I come from the place Baranagar. As they were walking in Prasanna Banerjee's garden, Sidhu said, "There is a charming place on the bank of the Ganges where a Paramahamsa lives. Should you like to go there?" Sidhu asked Master Mosai. M assented, and they started immediately for the Dakshineshwar temple garden. They arrived at the main gate at dusk and went straight to Sri Ramakrishna's room. And there they found him seated on a wooden couch facing the east. With a smile on his face, he was talking of God. The room was full of people, all seated on the floor, drinking his words in deep silence. M stood there speechless and looked on. It was as if he were standing where all the holy places met, and as if Sukadeva himself was speaking the word of God, or as if Sri Chaitanya was singing the name and glories of the Lord in Puri with Ramananda Swarup and other devotees. Lord Ramakrishna says, when hearing the name of Hari or Rama or any God, maybe Jesus Christ, once you shed tears and your hair stands on one end, then only you will have a right to renounce rituals, or rather rituals will drop away of themselves. Then it will be enough if you repeat only the name of Rama or Hari, or you can simply Om. Continuing he said, and he continues and says, the Sandha marches in the Gayatri and the Gayatri marches in Om. M looked around him with wonder and said to himself, what a beautiful place, what a charming man, how beautiful his words are. I have no wish to move away from this spot. After a few minutes he thought, let me see the place first, then I'll come back here and sit down. As he left the room with Sidhu, he heard the sweet music of the evening service arising in the temple from gong, bell, drum and cymbal. He could hear music from the Nahabat too, at the south end of the garden. The sounds travels over the Ganges, floating away and losing themselves in the distance. A soft spring wind was blowing, laden with the fragrance of flowers. The moon had just appeared. It was as if nature and man together were preparing for the evening worship. So Aim and Sidhu visited the few Shiva temples. There is a Ramakrishna temple and the temple of Bhabutarani, the main temple of Kali. And as Aim watched the service before the images, his heart was filled with joy. On the way back to Sri Ramakrishna's room, the two friends talked. Sidhu told Aim that the temple garden had been founded by Rani Rashmani. Rani is queen. Rashmani was a local queen. He said that God was worshipped there daily at Kali, Krishna and Shiva. And within the gates many sadhus, monks and beggars were fed. When they reached Sri Ramakrishna's door again, they found it shut. And Brinde was a helper, the maid standing outside. Him, who had been trained in English manner and would not enter a room without permission, asked her, is the holy man in? Brinde replied, yes, he is in the room. Him. How long has he lived here? Brinde, oh, he has been here for a long time. Him. Does he read many books? Brinde, books? Oh dear, no. They are all in his tongue. Him had just finished his studies in college. It amazed him to hear that Sri Ramakrishna read no books. Him. First, it is time for his evening worship. May we go into the room? Well, you tell him we are anxious to see him. When they go right in, children, go in and sit down. Entering the room, they found Sri Ramakrishna alone, seated on the wooden couch. Incense had just been burned and all the doors were shut. As he entered, Aim with folded hands saluted the master. Then at the master's bidding, he and Sadhu sat on the floor. Sri Ramakrishna asked them, where do you live? What is your occupation? Why have you come to Baranagar? Aim answered the question, but he noticed that now and then the master seemed to become absent-minded. Later he learned that this mood is called bhava, ecstasy. It is like the state of the angler who has been sitting with his rod. The fish comes and swallows the bait and the float begins to tremble. The angler is on the alert. He grips the rod and watches the float steadily and eagerly. He will not speak to anyone. Such was the state of Sri Ramakrishna's mind. Later Aim heard and himself noticed that Sri Ramakrishna would often go into this mood after dusk, sometimes becoming totally unconscious of the outer world. Aim, perhaps you want to perform your evening worship? In that case, may we take our leave? Sri Ramakrishna, still in ecstasy. No, evening worship, no, it is not exactly that. After a little conversation, Aim saluted the master and took his leave. Come again, Sri Ramakrishna said. On his way home, Aim began to wonder, who is this serene looking man who is drawing me back to him? Is it possible for a man to be great without being a scholar? How wonderful it is. I should like to see him again. He himself said, come again, I shall go tomorrow or the day after.
First of all, what Sri Ramakrishna preached is, God is real. God is not a mere theory. The main essence of teaching of Sri Ramakrishna is God is real and he is very much, he can realize God, and the goal of man is to realize God and know him. But where is God? It is an abstract theory. God is with a 4 hand, 5 hand, he is standing, he is somewhere in the heaven doing something. No. Then the second teaching comes, God is within you, God is in you. So everybody is God to us. That is why we worship, love each other as each other is an embodiment of God. God is not a theory, but in practice. And if you really pray to God, if you really love God, you will never be disappointed. everybody is searching for a soulmate or a true love in their life. Everybody, one way or the other. And they find that the soulmate is not really a soulmate. Who is your real soulmate? Sri Ramakrishna said your real soulmate and is only God, nobody else. Because everybody will have some shortcoming which will disappoint you, which will make you look for something else. You will not be satisfied. The only relationship which you will be fully satisfied is if you have relationship with God. That is the essence. Whatever we will read in this, the essence of that is goal of man is to realize God. And that is what his chief disciple Swami Vivekananda preached. And that is how 4 yogas come and get different technicalities. You know, Sri Ramakrishna never went to school. He did not have any formal education. So, to tell to the educated people, he needed a messenger. He could convince devotees, but to have a mass appeal, he needed somebody with a mass intellect also, which gigantic intellect, a genius with a special capability, and that is why he chose Swami Vivekananda, and he preached on the behalf of Sri Ramakrishna the message he spread all over the world. The message of whatever scriptures are holding. So another main teaching is we do not want a Christian to turn into a Hindu, or a Hindu should not turn into a Christian. Whatever you are, whether you are a Buddhist, you are a Christian, or whatever religion you are following, follow that. But have this practical implementation into your life, seeing God in everyone. There is nothing wrong. Seeing Jesus in everyone, this is nothing wrong. You see Jesus in everybody, then you will not fight, you will not get angry on some other person. That is the essence of that. So, Swami Vivekananda says that whether a Hindu should become a better Hindu, a Christian should become a better Christian, and a Muslim should become a better Muslim. How? That all that complications that we have as a psychologist, you may be knowing the complication that fighting with each other, jealousy and all those things, the pettiness of mind, this will all vanish when you start seeing God in everybody. Is it not? So, slowly we will discuss, and now it depends on how people come, because moment we talk of God, people become very boring. You know? We all like gossip. Gossip is more entertaining. Talk about God is not that entertaining, but really I tell you, once you get this, you will get it so high, taking the name of the Lord. If you do it every day, I can give you guarantee it is much more powerful than any other intoxication that we are aware of. Om Niranjanam Nityamanantarupam Bhaktanagambhadita Vigraham Vaishavatam Parameshamekam Ramakrishna Shirasha Namami. We are chanting Hinduist mantra, but that doesn't mean that you have to. You can chant your Buddha mantra, Jesus, whatever suits you.